Good to go? Okay. So,
where do we start? More importantly, what are we starting?
So, you knew this already, but here's I'll give you the story, okay? Because I haven't talked to you in a while.
The story, eh? How do you even tell a story like that?
So in January, my uncle passed away, as you know, and that was rough because he was sort of more my dad than my dad was, sort of thing.
You know that's not true.
More fair to your father.
You didn't explain that. Don't
right?
go for pity votes.
And he was, the sorts of people that like you sit on the bus, you turn around for a couple seconds, you turn back, and they made like three friends. Yeah, he's one of those guys who just like has it all down and has that social interaction down. And so eventually, I got to this point of like, well, I can't, I'm in a state of grief. I assume it was grief, right? I assumed like I just couldn't work. I felt like I couldn't do anything. I was like super inefficient, and I was like sitting in front of a blank page every day, all the time. And I felt no motivation to work. So I wrote for my thesis during the first month 7 pages, and then I wasn't able to write any more. And partially that's because personally I think my thesis is unethical. Like the way that we've been asked to write it is unethical. And partially it's because I have now developed a very large problem with the current scientific and statistical system. I think that stats is way too arbitrary, and that people do too much p-hacking, and biases are more than rampant, and et cetera, et cetera. And it got to this point of like, wow, I just feel like my entire I've worked 18 years to get this degree. I haven't like it's been my whole life, right? 18 years of that plus 10 years employment. I've been employed since I was 12. So it's like it's just been nonstop. And finally I'm getting to the biggest set of papers, the final set of papers for my first degree or my main degree. And now I just feel like I can't do them.
One autumn morning, I awoke from troubled sleep. Was it a warning? I had been transformed into a sheep.
This is an excerpt from an esoteric video game called The Ballad of the Metamorphosis of M. Dolly. It's weird, to say the least. There might be meaning behind it, I really can't say. But hey, isn't that how modern society works? Nothing really has inherent value. What matters is what we say it means, how we use it. I mean, everything's subjective, so who says I can't use a postmodern musical to illustrate what's going on in the world? What else am I supposed to do during a deadly global pandemic? Sit inside and relax? Be bored? No, of course not. I'm lucky to have a roof over my head and ramen in the cupboard. I'm lucky to have YouTube to watch and Reddit to scroll and a few rolls of toilet paper that I found off some guy at Kijiji for $200. Most of all, I'm lucky to have the opportunity to work on these papers.
Inside the house, my family waits for my return. What if they find out? What will happen when they learn that I am trapped in the body of a sheep? What can he do?
Starting early project.
How would you walk on 4 feet if it happened to you?
And let me start working and spend the next 50-odd years of my life working before I'm finally old enough that I can retire and stop working. And maybe then I'll be able to spend a bit of time traveling the world.
Gotta pay my bills, this golden fleece won't lose his cool. I am productive, I am worth more than my wool. Though I'm still trapped in the body of a sheep, what can he do? Lamb to the slaughter, to the feast, it could happen to you.
Seeing the sights before the Alzheimer's or dementia or cancer that's so persistent in my genetics gets to me, and I'm stuck in an old folks home or sickbed in an immense amount of pain and neglect until none of my friends are left to visit, and I finally get to pass away. And you know what, actually, never mind. I don't know where the fuck people go when they die, and if there is a God, why the hell would I be going to any good place when I haven't done anything useful or significant in my life? And if there isn't one, then all I'm doing is struggling to write 3 goddamn papers while people are sick and dying in droves from starvation and bombings and the environment being destroyed, and nobody really cares about one another. All we're just gonna stop existing someday, and then there's gonna be no one left to know what death even is, so maybe I'll just speed up the process and